Please pay attention and watch this particular video. Do not skip it. A lot of people don't know the reason why Iran, Israel, and America is going through this war right now. A lot of people don't know. That is why I want you to pay attention and watch this particular video from beginning to the end. You are going to see the reason why Iran, Israel, and America is fighting every day. Pay attention and watch the video. Bye for now. Love you guys.
Right now, people all over the world are asking the same question. Has World War III just started? In the past few days, the United States and Israel, they've launched major strikes on Iran. Iran has responded across the region. Airspace is shutting down. Missiles are flying. And one of the most powerful leaders in the world has just been killed. Everybody is trying to understand what's going on. Who is fighting? Why are they fighting? Why is this happening now? And how did the world get to a point where a conflict like this can even start? But this did not start this week. It didn't even start this decade. To understand what's going on properly now, we need to go back more than 40 years to a revolution that completely changed Iran, reshaped the Middle East, and created a system that was built around one man. And that man was Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. Let's go back. More than 40 years ago, Iran was not ruled by religious leaders. It was ruled by a king called the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Iran at that time, it looked different. It was modern on the outside. Big cities growing, Western music, fashion, culture, all of that. The Shah was very close friends with the United States and Europe, and he wanted Iran to look like a Western country. But many people inside Iran were unhappy. The Shah had almost complete power. People who spoke against the government could be imprisoned. A secret police force watched critics closely. Many Iranians felt afraid to speak freely. At the same time, life was not improving for everybody. Some people were becoming richer, but many others felt ignored. Religious groups felt like Iran was losing its identity, while students and workers wanted more freedom and fairness. Different groups were angry for different reasons. But slowly, they all started listening to the same man. This was a religious leader who had been forced to leave the country years earlier. His name was Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. Years before the revolution, Khomeini had already spoken out against the Shah. In the early 1960s, the Shah introduced reforms meant to modernize Iran. Women gained the right to vote, religious courts lost power, land reforms were introduced, ties with the United States became stronger. Some people supported these changes, but Khomeini strongly opposed them. He believed that the Shah was weakening Islam. He believed that the Shah was giving too much power to foreign countries, especially America. In 1964, Khomeini was arrested and forced into exile. First, he was sent to Turkey, then later he moved to Iraq, where he lived for many years in the city of Najaf. Even from exile, he continued speaking. His speeches were recorded on cassette tapes and secretly brought back into Iran. People listened in homes, in mosques, in universities. Slowly, his voice became the voice of resistance. By the late 1970s, protests against the Shah were growing bigger and bigger. Millions of people filled the streets. Strikes shut down businesses and oil production. The government struggled to function at this point. Security forces opened fire on demonstrators. Many people were killed. Instead of stopping the protests, that violence, it made more people angrier. The Shah was also very sick at that time. He had cancer, although many Iranians did not know that publicly. His leadership became uncertain and weak. Under immense pressure, the Shah left Iran on January 16, 1979. Officially, he said he was going on vacation, but in reality, he never returned. When he left, it created a power vacuum. 2 weeks later, Khomeini came back. Millions welcomed him. Within weeks, the monarchy collapsed, the army declared neutrality, and the old system of rule came to an end. In March of 1979, a national vote was held. People were asked one simple question. Should Iran become an Islamic Republic? The official result said over 98% voted yes. And just like that, Iran changed. Later that same year, the United States allowed the exiled Shah to enter America for medical treatment. Many Iranians believed that America was protecting him and that they might try to restore him to power. Revolutionary students stormed the US embassy in Tehran and they took American diplomats hostage. They demanded that the Shah should be returned to Iran to face trial. That crisis lasted 444 days. And the relations between Iran and the United States, it never recovered after that. Iran was no longer ruled by a king. But it was not a normal democracy either. At the top of the new system was a position called the Supreme Leader. The role combined religious authority and political power. The Supreme Leader controls the military, appoints top judges, influences media. He has the final say in major decisions. A powerful force called the Revolutionary Guard was created to protect the revolution, and they answered directly to the supreme leader. Over the years, presidents came and left. Iran held elections, different men became president. Some were seen as conservative, others were seen as moderate. Many came and left. But through all of that, one thing did not change. The supreme leader remained. Presidents handled the daily running of the country. They dealt with budgets, ministries, speeches, international meetings. But when it came to major decisions, the military, the courts, foreign policy, the direction of the country, the final word belonged to the supreme leader. So for the next 10 years, the leader was Khamenei. Under his rule, religious laws expanded, Western influence reduced, critics were arrested, many opponents fled the country. Supporters said that he was protecting Iran's independence. Critics said freedoms had become so limited. In 1989, Khamenei died. He had chosen a successor years earlier. His successor was supposed to be Ayatollah Hossein Ali Montazeri, but Montazeri criticized mass executions carried out against political prisoners, and he was removed before Khomeiни's death. The Assembly of Experts selected Ali Khamenei instead. At the time, he was serving as president, and he did not hold the highest religious rank normally required, so they had to amend the constitution to allow him to become supreme leader. In 1989, Ali Khamenei became Iran's second supreme leader. Many expected him to be temporary at that point, but he remained in power for more than 3 decades. He strengthened ties with the Revolutionary Guard. He placed loyal figures across the military, the courts, and the media. Sanctions placed heavy pressure on Iran's economy. Prices rose, jobs became harder to find, public frustration grew. Between 2017 and 2019, protests spread across Iran over economic hardship and fuel prices. Security forces responded with deadly force. In 2022, protests erupted again after the death of Mahsa Amini. She was a 22-year-old woman that was arrested by morality police for not wearing her headscarf properly. She died shortly after detention. Many Iranians believe that she had been beaten to death. Her death sparked nationwide demonstrations. Women removed their headscarves in public. Students and workers joined the protests. Some protesters were arrested, some were executed. Many people died. At the same time, tensions with Israel and the United States were increasing. Groups backed by Iran were involved in attacks against Israeli interests. Israel carried out operations against Iranian targets as well outside its borders. Israel has already warned for years. It has always said it will never allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. Israeli and American forces, they said that they had intelligence that Iran was preparing future attacks and that they were strengthening their missile and nuclear programs. They said that if they waited for too long, it would make the threat harder to stop. So Israel decided to strike first. With support from the United States, airstrikes hit targets inside Iran this time. During those strikes, Iran's supreme leader was killed. Iran responded by targeting American military bases across the Middle East. Many of those bases are located in other countries. So missiles and drones were launched towards US bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Jordan. A drone even hit a British air base in Cyprus. This time the fighting was open and direct, not in the shadows. The death of Iran's supreme leader did not mean that the system collapsed. A temporary leadership group took control while senior clerics prepared to choose a new leader. Military operations continued and government institutions remained active. Iran now faces uncertainty as tensions across the region remain high. What is clear is this: the events that we're watching unfold today, they did not appear overnight. They are a result of decades of unfinished conflict stretching all the way back to the Iranian Revolution more than 40 years ago. And whatever happens next in this conflict, it will shape that region and probably the whole world for many years to come.
Greetings, my wonderful people. Welcome back again to Queencapon Media. This is 5th of March 2026. I am back with some of the trending headlines today, my people. The first video clip we want to just watch. This is the reason why Iran, Israel, and the US, they are fighting this war where they go on. At least when I don't know the genesis of this war, at least when I don't know what it caused Iran to be at war with Israel right now. This is as a result of a long-time conflict, according to this analysis. From my research is 100% accurate. So my people, right now, let's see some of the trending headlines. Then I go allow una make una watch videos we go tell una what did happen in the country. The first headline here is coming from the World Insight. Yes, so my people, and what did they report to the general public right now? They said the ballistic missiles launches by Iran during the first 4 days of this conflict. My people, this World Insight is reporting the numbers of missiles that Iran have wasted, like they have used in the last 4 days of this ongoing war between them, Israel and the USA. Let's see. Ballistic missile, day 1 they used 350. Then day 2 they use 175. Then day 3 they use 120 missiles. On the day 4 they use 50 missiles. You see that it's reducing. On the day 5 they use 40 missiles. So this is the numbers of drone they have used, the drone swarms they have used from the first day till the day 5 of this ongoing war. I mean Iran. No. So the first day, on the first day of this war, they use 294 drones. On the second day, they use 541 drones. On the third day, they use 200 drones. Iran used 200 drones. On the fourth day, they use 85 drones. Then on the fifth day, they use 45 drones. With this record, my people, you can see that Iran, they are losing it. Yes, they are losing it in this war that is ongoing. They are losing it because the power, the missile, the numbers of missiles and drones being used by Israel and USA every day, they multiply, but their own is declining, my people. It shows one thing, that they are losing it in this battle. But one thing about them is that they are very, very stubborn and they will never give up. They will never give up. Moving on to the next headline here. And in this headline, it says, breaking news, Boko Haram has attacked a military base and internally displaced persons camp in Goshe town, Gwoza local government area of Borno State, buying an unspecified numbers of soldiers and civilians. Today, my people, hey, they enter one IDP camp, Boko Haram terrorists. They enter a military base also. They buy unspecified numbers of soldiers and people. Today, my people, they say they no fit count them. They are not even sure of how many numbers of soldiers and innocent civilians where they buy today. My people, imagine this. This is what is happening in Nigeria, and you will not see the Northerners protesting against this insecurity going on in their region. But you can see them protesting against their supreme leader, not even their own supreme leader, the supreme leader of Iran. The people that they buy their supreme leader, they are enjoying, they are celebrating, they are so happy. They are celebrating independence from the hands of this terror sponsor. But when you know concern on a day one side, they protest, say what they do now, he bad. But insecurity they go on, terrorists full on a side though. We never for one day protest against it. My people, right now, I go allow una make una watch the videos where I don't gather for you. We'll explain one or two things happening in this country. Please, I will implore you to take your time and watch all of these videos because all of them have some important information about what is happening. Please do not forget to like this video and share it. Thank you so much for doing so.
But I want you to watch this video, especially if you are Biafran or if you are Nigerian and you are supporting Iran. Please watch this video because you guys have forgotten that history and stories and news don't leave social media if they are posted. You see, the problem we have in Nigeria today, the hosting of the problem we have in Nigeria today, the panic of people in mass number from the north was high during the time of Jonathan. It was high during the time of Jonathan, and I can tell you, just as I'm displaying now, it is not my story, I'm not making it, so that you guys will understand that Iran is supposed to stand. Iran was a contributor to all the problem that is happening in Nigeria. During the Jonathan time, Iran keeps shipping weapons down to the north. I didn't make it up. See the news. We see online. You guys don't make research. A lot of weapons was intercepted in Lagos and in different parts of Nigeria, and they all came from Iran. Just to use to enhance the power of people. Just to use to enhance Boko Haram. Everybody knows. Do you think USA and Israel, they don't have their investigation before doing all these things? Do you think US and Israel, talking about Iran, Turkey and Nigeria, do you think they don't know what they are doing? They know what they are doing. It's an investigation. They have seen all this link. Do you think I'm talking about Venezuela? They don't know what they are doing. What US and Israel is doing is cleansing of the world. But you guys won't understand. Just take a look at this. Let me tell you. At the end of it, after they have brought this weapon into Nigeria, and what did they do? They destabilized Jonathan government and removed Jonathan through all this bombing of places. And Jonathan was so scared because Jonathan felt that if he didn't drop that power that time, more innocent Nigerians would be fired and there might be war. Jonathan dropped that power, and immediately Buhari came. Buhari visited, the same supreme leader of what? Of Iran. Immediately after that, what is this thing that Buhari did? Buhari knew that if legal basis of licensing a arm in Nigeria is still in place, you guys will be able to acquire arms to defend yourself. And what did he do? Immediately he did what? Immediately he stopped the licensing of what? Of arms to make people defenseless. I made a video about that. So what are you going to say about it? He stopped the licensing of arms so that the other part of the country will not be able to defend itself. This is the picture. You see it. You see its connection with Iran. And do you think US and Israel have not traced all these things back to Nigeria? They know what is going on. And that is why I am telling you that it is the end is here. After Iran, they are coming for Nigeria, probably Turkey. They were able to remove Venezuela president because it's also part of the person using his oil money to finance all those things. So you guys should understand and think, and that is why if all this is going on, do not keep protesting, keep supporting Iran, because their leader who are involved knows what is happening. That is why. Do you think all those people in the streets, they know what they are doing? They are only supporting what their leader is telling them. These people are caliphate of jihadist Islamic movement. They are moving from Iran. They are expanding to the coast of all Africa, especially Nigeria. And some of you don't read because you don't read. You just come on social media. You see people make video. We make research before we make a video. We pick facts before we talk. He was able, and the same way he used his story, because they knew that if Biafra continues struggling in Nigeria, that their aim will not be achieved in Nigeria. And they did what? They used Buhari to start fighting them up. Quite a lot of Nigerian Biafra innocent citizens. And our Southwest brother don't want to understand this. That's why I said the social media don't lie. Whatever that has been there is there. This is the things I have brought up for you since 2010, and it's still here. Weapons, many go and you out to Jonathan. A lot of weapons are intercepted, and where are they coming from? Some of them, majority of them, is Iran. And what is the link that Buhari has with the same supreme leader that was fired? The same tactics they are using. And you want to blame Israel and USA? Come off it. There is something behind what they are doing.
Hello, so I just watched a very disturbing video in one of those, I think it was staged in one of those Muslim majority states in the northern part of Nigeria. And school kids, obviously they were just like middle school or high school kids, were meant to line up and march on American flags, which was laid on the ground, and Israeli flags. You see, I considered that disturbing because if you see the age of those kids, they are minors, and that goes for to show that this is a kind of orientation these guys give these kids, and then they grow up with that kind of orientation, an orientation that is built on hatred, on evil. You know, something is happening in the Middle East, and you're staging a protest here, marching American flags, marching Israeli flags, and come to look at it. Look, the problem in the Middle East is a problem between Israel, America, and strictly Iran. Iran have vowed to wipe out Israel from the surface of the earth, have vowed to also fight America, and they are fighting back. So Israel is just fighting a war to simply exist. Iran has always been a secular state, long before 1979. In short, thousands of years ago, Iran, the Persians, were some of the best friends of the Jews. If you read your Bible in the book of Ezra, it was actually King Cyrus, the Persian king, who helped to rebuild Jerusalem and to ask to help the Jews go back to the land of Israel, Judea, when they were dispersed. So they have been some of the best friends. But when the Ayatollah came, and by the way, this Ayatollah, I'm talking of the first Ayatollah, Ayatollah Khamenei, The current one who was killed recently by Americans, by Israelis, is Ayatollah Khamenei, his successor. So Khamenei started the Islamic Revolution in 1979 when he established the Islamic State in Iran. Iran has always been secular, always been secular. Christians living side by side with Muslim, with Zoroastrianism. That's the main religion, by the way, of Iran long ago. You know, and even the atheists, non-believers. You know, but when these guys took over, and where were they coming from? Ayatollah was out of Iran for the last 20 years before he staged a revolution in 1979. He was in Turkey, but because of his extremism, Turkey banned him. Turkey was a Muslim country. And he was in another Muslim country, Iraq. And Saddam Hussein expelled him. And he went to a Western country, the same Western countries that they love to hate. He was in France. It was from France that he staged that revolution. And on his first day landing in Tehran, he came with Air France. You see, but upon assumption of office, he established Sharia as the theocracy of Sharia as the principal policy of the state and the principal religion of the state. That's where all these problems come from. Why can't you live in peace? Why can't you detach religion from the state and practice religion as something very private? And so with that, he started the policy of the total obliteration of Israel. You just establish a government in your country, and the next thing was that you place Israel as a country unfit to exist, that you have to destroy Israel. And the next thing, he declared all Western countries and all Christians as oppressors that need to be fought everywhere. And he started exporting terrorism. Sponsored Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, and many other terrorist organizations in the world to fight Christians, to fight Western nations, to fight Jews, to fight Israel. What kind of man is that? What kind of ideology is that? And to that extent, they even put up a digital clock in Iran that was counting down to the day that Israel will be. They were like to count down 25 years. The digital clock, because they say in 25 years they'll wipe out Israel. And it was counting down. Very big clock in Tehran. And by the way, let me tell you, majority of Iranians are happy with the United States and Israel for what is happening. I have more than 50 Iranian friends. In this my town here, I have more than 10 Iranian friends. One of my best family friends is Iranian. My son's classmate, his best friend in his class, Arash, Reza. They are so happy, they've been celebrating. And then you cry more than the bereaved. You in Nigeria, you're just staging protests everywhere. In Pakistan, they were staging violent protests. In many parts of the Muslim world. Outside the Middle East.
Growing up.
But look at the Middle East. They are also fighting this menace of the Ayatollahs. Many of the Sunni countries in the Middle East, UAE, Saudi, Oman, Jordan. But in Nigeria, these guys are just creating nuisance everywhere that they are protesting. I'm a Catholic. In 1981, May precisely, on the anniversary of the apparition of Our Lady of Fatima, a certain Muslim guy from Turkey, Mehmet Ali Akka, shot at Pope John Paul, the Pope at that point, one of the most famous popes in the Catholic Church. He wanted to kill Pope. He shot at the Pope. You know, attempted murder. They wanted to kill the Pope. But what happened? How was the response of Christians all over the world and the Catholic Church? Nothing. Rather, in the Pope's own country of Poland, they just went on night vigil, reciting the rosary throughout while he was in the hospital recovering. Nobody protested. In Italy and many other places, people just staged a walk, a silent walk with candles on cassock, white cassock. Nobody. That's the proper definition of religion of peace. The Pope himself forgave that guy. The guy was jailed by the Italian authorities. And through that forgiveness, the Pope visited him in the hospital. And through that act of the Pope and the act of Christians all over the world, the guy was begging that he wants to be a priest. He wants to be a Catholic. I don't know what has happened to him, but the guy is free. I think he's back to Turkey. That is, it speaks in how you act, in your religion. You don't just go marching people's flags, destroying people's flags, because someone who deserved to be killed was killed in Iraq. Yes, he deserved to be killed because he was threatening all these guys. He has been sponsoring groups, terror groups, to destroy Israel. So what Israel is fighting is simply fighting for survival. And I've always said that survival, the war to survive, to exist, is fought differently. This guy cannot stand Israel, cannot stand the United States. He has established Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Khamenei, and succeeded by Ayatollah Khamenei, the guy who was just killed recently. And they are saying they want to spread jihad all over the world. They want to spread jihad, but guess what? In order to spread that jihad, they are requiring weapons from a Christian nation of Russia so that they can fight jihad and spread Islam. They are requiring weapons at every time from the Buddhist nation, the Tao nation of China. That's where they get their arms. Russia, Christian nation, China, Buddhist nation, to fight jihad, to promote Islam all over the world. And then the third other nation, the number 3, is the atheist nation that do not have even religion at all, that worship idols. North Korea. They are requiring weapons at every time from North Korea to fight jihad. What kind of nonsense is that? You are not strong. You are getting your weapons from people who do not share your ideology, who do not share your faith, to fight for the promotion of your faith. And a lot of people are not seeing the nuisance, the nonsense in this kind of mentality. What does it take for us to be peaceful people? Let everybody practice his religion in peace, as a private thing. What does it take? So some of us are angry with this because a lot of people begin to question us, why are we talking about Iran, the war in Iran? Yeah, we are talking about it because Iran has been exporting terrorism all over the world. They are one of the reasons why terrorism is in Nigeria. They've been promoting it. They've sent arms. They've sent finances. There are several occasions that Iranian arms have been confiscated at the port in Lagos, and Turkish arms. You know, so it concerns all of us. They need to be demolished. Let people practice their religion in peace. Persians are celebrating all over the world. Iranians are celebrating. Then we have some kind of nonsense set of people in Nigeria just protesting these burning flags, American flag, burning Israeli flag. We can do better, guys. It's so fortunate. It's so fortunate that we're sharing the same entity, geographical entity, with those kind of evil thinking creatures.
There's no sitting on the fence in any situation. The fact is, there must always be a standpoint for anybody. So in regards to the situation of Israel, US and Iran war, what is my take? My take is basically simple. Do I support the striking or the invasion of Iran by US and Israel? The answer is, technically speaking, what I'm going to say is highly technical and for open-minded people to actually understand my point. Technically, in the order of technicality and international conventions, no. But do I support a situation where anybody that unalived under his regime, unalived 3,000 plus of his citizens to be unalived by any means possible? Absolutely yes. 100% yes. And why do I say this? Talking about this, the Ayatollah that you people are protesting for, while the contrary, because a lot of people in Iran are actually happy celebrating his unaliving. So do I join in that? Yes, I join in that. Why? Because based on the last protest, according to official figures by his government, acknowledge the fact that 3,000 3,000 plus of his citizens were unalive for just protesting. And what were they protesting? Economic crisis and a lot of other issues that bedevils the nation. And that 3,000 plus is just government figures, because international figures now is going into 30 to 40,000 people. Do you get it? So in that regards, do I support that by any means possible those people should cease to exist in the face of the earth? Absolutely yes. 100% yes. Whoever it is, whoever he is in any country by any means possible should be unalived. Do you get it? That is my standpoint. But on the basis of humanitarian crisis and a lot of other issues, because take it or leave it, this is a war and a lot of people, innocent people, are going to be casualties. That has been what has been in the world. It has never changed from inception, and it will never change till this world come to an end. So that is just it. And that is why it's your responsibility now. When you see that the nation is heading towards disaster, you should stand and do whatever is necessary to ensure that the country doesn't progress into a situation where you have the full-blown manifestation of this. It translates into the loss of innocent life. But in reality, that is gradually happening in Nigeria as well. With this issue of look at the protests now in regards to Ayatollah, forgetting about the fact of people that have been unalived, right? And with the advent of political Sharia that is dividing. And another thing is the fact that you see the happening at the moment is actually bringing to limelight the fact that Nigeria is not a united nation. It's not one country. It's a country divided across these ideologies, just like I keep saying. Because you have a bunch of these monkey fanatics addressing it from the basis of religion. And that is why when those numbers were unalive, none of these monkeys, when these numbers were unalive in Iran, none of these monkeys came out to protest. But all of a sudden now, all of them have become, though the fact is, I don't hide my mouth. I don't lie to myself. I don't lie to my conscience. That is just me. And in regards this, I keep telling people that for us not to transcend into the situation of what we're having in Iran at the moment, everybody must stand and protect this life. For you to enjoy this life, you must protect and defend this life. And that is why I keep saying, aura must meet aura. Madness for madness. Because animality is not...
So my wonderful people, Shebi, I don't see them now. I don't see what they go on. I don't see the exposition what is the brother did, how he exposed Iran, that they have been promoting terrorism even during the time the regime of late Buhari, they were promoting terrorism in Nigeria. Drop your opinion about everything what you see here, including the headlines, in the comment section. Don't forget to please like this video and share it. Thank you so much for doing so. Thank you for watching. I will see you again in my next one. Bye bye.